This is my review of Bleach Chapter 51. We open with the two Shinigami. They release some what are called hail butterflies and reveal that their mission is to either capture or kill Rukia Kuchiki. We get a massive cover showing almost every character Kubo's drawn up to this point. All the main characters are there, Ichigo, Chad, Ururyu, Rukia. Rukia's one was kind of weird. You have one of Orihime and Tatsuki. You had one of Masaki, Ichigo's mother. You had one of Ishin. You had one of Yuzu, and I think Karin were together. Their friend had one, which was weird. Yuzu and Karin's friend. Chizuru had one to herself, and her shirt was open, and she was showing off her breasts. I guess it was weird. Some of the hollows got one. I didn't really pay attention to what each one was. One of them was Grand Fisher. Chad's two friends were there. Keigo had one to himself. I think Mizuhiro had one to himself. A couple more of Orihime's friends had just so many fun characters. On both pages, just massive picture. The next page was just like an all black page, and then it had the little hell butterflies, and they're falling apart. And then we come back into the story, and Uryu walks into the classroom, and he's all bandaged up, obviously from the fight. The teacher inquires about why he's bandaged up, and he just says he fell down the stairs. None of the students believe it, and they're like, who could believe this? And then the teacher immediately just says, okay, and believes it, and tells him to take a seat. Ichigo's somewhat concerned, and then Rukia teases him for it, which is pretty good characterization for her, her sly look and stuff that she does all the time. Keigo says that he saw him, so he basically was watching the fight that they were having with all the hollows in the Minas Grande, but he couldn't see the hollows, and he obviously couldn't see Ichigo, so he just saw Uryu, and then he saw Tasai, Jinta, and Ururu show up, and he said they just looked like they were dancing around and there was explosions. So it was pretty funny. The whole class is kind of talking about Uryu and how all this stuff is strange. Orihime looks kind of concerned at him and Ichigo. Tatsuki's looking out the window or something. We get a look at Chad, I think, for a second, and then we cut to Jinta and Ururu who are cleaning outside, and she tells Jinta he should focus more on cleaning, and he's, fucking around because that's what he does. And then Ururu opens the door and says that the cat has arrived, and Kisuke greets it as Yoruichi, and he picks him up. Then Tessai explains that Kisuke and Yoruichi are old friends. Cut back to school again, and we have Keigo, and he's calling out to Ichigo, but he calls him Strawberry again, which is, it's got to be a Viz thing. I know Ichigo translates to Strawberry, but why would you translate his name as Ichigo and then other times translate it as Strawberry when it's the same word in Japanese? That just doesn't make sense. It's such a weird thing. Ichigo asks Uryu to join them for lunch, and Keigo kind of freaks out. He doesn't want him to go because he's views him as weird, and also he's bandaged up and stuff. Uryu declines, and then Keigo is insulted that he declined. And then Ichigo tells him that Keigo will buy his lunch for him, so Uryu immediately agrees. And then Keigo obviously freaks out again. And then as they're eating, it's just awkward and silent. And so Ichigo demands that Keigo says something funny to try and make it less awkward. And Keigo can't think of anything, so he just starts on a random story of something he did. And then Uryu asks Ichigo why he invited him and tells him that he shouldn't feel responsible for his injuries. And Ichigo tells him that he just wanted to ask him to eat with them, that he should say thank you. And Uryu says that he prefers to eat alone. Then Ichigo says he also prefers to eat alone. And Mizohiro says that they're a lot alike. Rukia is up in a tree, and then Orihime's friends invite her down to eat with them. And then we come back to Kisuke and Yoruichi, and they talk about the Shinigami having arrived. And then Ichigo gets some food from Yuzu, and she tells him he's going to get fat if he eats so much food, and he brings it up to the closet to Rukia, but she's gone. We see that she left a note for him on the table. And then there's a Shinigami behind her with goggles. The Shinigami are surprised that Ruki's an Agi guy. We're introduced more or less to them, basically. We see both of them together. One's obviously going to be Renji Ibarai. The other one is Rukia Kuchiki's brother, Byaku Kuchiki. That's kind of where it ends. The last little corner thing is a clock, which I guess is to represent that Rukia's time has run out. But the way Kubo draws Renji here and the way he has him talking and stuff is really weird. And I get into this a lot more in the next chapter, but weird. Just the way he draws him looking evil. The way he has him say Rukia Kuchi like he's not familiar. He's not familiar enough to say Rukia. He's using her whole name. Like he doesn't know her that well. It's just, he's drawn to look brash and a bit evil. And it's just so weird. A lot going on in this chapter. This is really when Bleach starts picking up, obviously. Getting a bit more interesting. But the next chapter is really the one I gotta get into a little bit more with the whole Renji situation. Because he's just handled so weird. So I'm just gonna get to that.